All right, welcome back to the deep dive. You know the drill. We take these piles of info, sometimes scattered, sometimes confusing, and try to boil it down for you.
Makes sense of the noise.
Exactly. And today we're strapping in. We're diving into European football transfers, the rumors, the high stakes. It can get pretty wild.
It really can. And we've got a great case study to unpack it all. We're looking at a bunch of sort of time-sensitive stuff focused on Karim Adeyemi from Borussia Dortmund.
Right, thought of Amy.
Yeah, the headline might be a potential move to West Ham, but honestly, the real gold here is using this one potential deal to show you how complex and, frankly, how fast the whole market moves.
Okay, so our mission for you here is pretty straightforward. We're going to take these updates, some just minutes old, some, believe it or not, over a year old, and piece together the clearest picture we can. What's West Ham's shopping list look like? What's the player actually thinking? And just how fast does this stuff really happen?
And let's set the scene first, the main player here. Karim Adeyemi. He's 23, plays right wing, pacey guy at Dortmund. And the sources we have are throwing around a figure about 23 million. That's the starting point.
23 million. Got it.
Okay, let's get straight into the nuts and bolts then. This Adeyemi deal, we're calling it the player sentiment paradox.
Okay.
Why? Well, first bit of info is super recent. Dean Jones, the insider, is quoted saying West Ham have, officially shown interest just 5 hours ago. That's fresh.
Super fresh. That's the club saying, we're in. But then you flip the coin, look at the player side, and that's where it gets interesting.
That paradox.
How so?
Well, the sources also say Adeyemi considers his experience at Dortmund over. Okay, so he wants out. That's usually good news for a buying club, right? Gives them leverage.
Yeah, seems simple. Player wants out, Premier League club wants in. Sounds like a done deal waiting to happen,
Yeah.
but it's not that simple, is it?
Not at all. Because the same sources mentioning West Ham's recent interest also mention something else. A historical point saying the club has not impressed Adeyemi.
Ah. Okay, wait, let's nail this down. The interest from West Ham is 5 hours old.
Correct. Very current.
But the info about Adeyemi being unimpressed, when's that from?
That's the kicker. It's dated 437 days ago.
437 days. That's well over a year ago. So hang on, why are we even talking about how he felt a year and, 3 months ago? Does that actually matter now?
Oh, it absolutely matters. In football, reputations, perceptions, they stick.
Mm-hmm.
And old info becomes leverage,
Yeah.
That 437-day-old comment sets a baseline. It tells West Ham, look, just meeting the 23 million price tag, probably not enough.
Right.
They likely need to sell him on the whole thing again. The manager, the vision, playing time. They've got to overcome that past impression.
But doesn't that seem risky, chasing a player who already said meh to you? Doesn't it make West Ham look a bit desperate, maybe? Like they don't have other options lined up?
That's a really sharp point.
Yeah.
And it forces you to think bigger than just this one rumor. West Ham's probably calculating that things have changed enough in that year, maybe a new manager, a different squad, maybe they qualified for Europe, whatever it is, that they can change his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the risk is huge, especially because Adeyemi isn't exactly short on choices. He's not stuck, desperate for any move.
Yeah.
He's linked with Chelsea, Arsenal, even Barcelona. Big names.
Okay, so West Ham are just haggling with Dortmund over 23 million quid.
Hmm.
They're also competing against some of the biggest clubs in the world for the player's actual attention, and they're starting from behind because he wasn't keen before. That 23 million suddenly sounds like just the first step of a very tough climb.
Precisely.
Yeah.
They're trying to sign a player who, A, wants to leave his current club, but B, wasn't impressed by them historically, and C, has other, arguably bigger options. How they handle that comes down to their overall strategy.
Which leads us nicely into the next bit, doesn't it? Moving from just Adeyemi to what West Ham are doing more broadly. Because, like you said, if Adeyemi is this tricky, you can't just sit and wait for him. And the sources make it really clear West Ham are definitely looking for a right winger. He's just one name on the list.
Exactly. This isn't about one target. It's like managing a portfolio. Adeyemi's one stock, let's say.
Yeah.
But look at the other right wingers mentioned alongside him in the sources.
Mm-hmm.
Adon Traore, Patrick Wimmer, Raheem Sterling.
Whoa, hold on. Sterling. That's quite a spectrum, isn't it? You've got Adeyemi, young German international, high potential. Then you've got Raheem Sterling, established England star, multiple Premier League titles. Why chase players who are so different financially and profile-wise for the same spot?
It shows you how pragmatic these clubs have to be.
Yeah.
It's not just a simple wish list. It's layered. Sterling is maybe the blue chip option proven. Instant impact, but massive wages, big fee. Adeyemi is more like the growth stock, high potential, maybe higher risk. Traore and Wimmer offer different tactical angles, perhaps, or different price points. By going after several at once, West Ham makes sure if one deal falls through.
We've got another iron in the fire immediately. Leverage.
Exactly. They always have another conversation they can pivot to.
Okay, so that covers the right wing. But West Ham aren't just busy there, are they? Looking at the other rumors listed, they seem active all over the pitch.
Oh yeah, definitely not just focused on one position. Based just on the info we have here, they're actively working on, what is it, at least 7 different potential deals right now.
Yeah?
A club like West Ham can't afford to just sit back.
7 at once. Okay, run us through who else they're reportedly tracking then.
Okay, so beyond the wingers, Adeyemi, Sterling, Traore, Wimmer, the latest rumors also link them with Rick Karsdorp, a defender, Renan Lodi, another slank player, Manuel Locatelli in midfield, and then 2 strikers getting a lot of buzz, Joshua Zirkzee and that young Brazilian everyone's talking about, Endrick. So yeah, you add the wingers back in. The sporting director could be juggling like 8, 9, 10 complex negotiations simultaneously.
Just imagine that job for a second. Managing the agents, the clubs, the player expectations, the budgets. For 8 or 9 players in different leagues all at the same time, it really drives home that idea of it being like corporate acquisitions. You need to close a deal, maybe not necessarily the perfect one you dreamed of.
Totally. Which brings us neatly to the environment this all happens in, the sheer speed, the velocity of this market. That's what enables this kind of multi-deal approach.
Right. The speed fuels the chaos, or maybe the chaos demands the speed.
Bit of both, probably. If you're juggling 8 deals, you need info now. We said the Adeyemi interest was 5 hours old. That's relatively slow compared to some of the other rumors listed for the Premier League or the Bundesliga in our sources. Some are timestamped just minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm seeing timestamps here. 40 minutes ago, 38 minutes ago, 7 hours ago. This isn't yesterday's news. It's practically a live ticker feed. What does that speed actually mean for, say, West Ham trying to sign Adeyemi or his agent?
It means less time to think, more relying on gut feeling sometimes. That speed shrinks the window for proper due diligence. Clubs might feel pushed to agree a fee or massive wages without the full medical report, or maybe a deep character check, just because they know if they wait 12 hours, poof, Chelsea or Barca might swoop in.
And the agents must love that pressure.
Oh, they absolutely use it. An agent can use that 5-hour-old West Ham rumor that maybe whispers something about Arsenal being keen to another journalist, and bam, within minutes there's a counter-story circulating.
Right.
The speed lets them inflate the perceived demand for their client almost instantly, which either drives up the price West Ham has to pay, or it forces West Ham to act faster to overcome that 437-day-old not impressed comment we talked about.
And you can see how interconnected it all is in the source list. It's not just English clubs talking to German clubs, it's global. Looking at the latest Premier League rumors next to the latest Bundesliga rumors, you see the same names popping up.
Absolutely spot on. Players like Nico Schlotterbeck, the defender, or that young keeper Gabriel Brazown, they're mentioned in relation to both leagues. It shows agents and clubs are constantly shopping players across borders if a deal looks like it's stalling in England.
They immediately offer him to a club in Germany or Spain or Italy.
Exactly. Constant movement, fluid, global.
And we as fans are now plugged right into this rapid-fire information stream via social media, aren't we? This isn't just happening behind closed doors anymore.
No, and that's a really crucial point for anyone trying to follow this stuff. The source material itself mentions tracking rumors on TikTok, Instagram, X, and even names specific accounts.
Right.
So these platforms aren't just for fan reactions anymore. They're tools. Agents, maybe even clubs indirectly, use them to float ideas, test the waters, apply pressure, basically negotiating in public sometimes. The rumor you read might have started as a 30-second clip just minutes before.
It's a completely different way of consuming football news than even, say, 10 years ago. Okay, let's try and wrap this all up then. Bring it back for everyone listening.
Yeah, so looking at this Adeyemi situation, it really is a perfect snapshot of the modern transfer market, isn't it? The key things to take away are, it's this really complex mix of asking prices, immediate club interest, player feelings, which might be old but still relevant, and these massive shortlists clubs maintain, covering all sorts of options.
And for me, the thing that really stands out is that contradiction. Adeyemi wants out of Dortmund, clear as day. But West Ham have this history, this not impressed hurdle to overcome. Yet they're still pushing while also chasing a whole bunch of other big names elsewhere. It really shows that for these big clubs, it seems like keeping the wheels turning, securing someone from their list, might actually be more important than patiently waiting to convince the perfect target. Activity is key.
Exactly. And if we zoom out one last time, Here's something maybe for you to think about. If a big club like West Ham needs to have players as different as Adeyemi, Sterling, and Traore on their shortlist for just one position, and they're simultaneously choosing, what, 6 or 7 other named players, what does that tell you about how much you should really trust any single transfer rumor you see pop up? Is the real game about landing the absolute perfect player? Or is it just about getting a player, any player from the approved list, over the line before the window shuts?
That idea of high-speed portfolio management,
Uh,
definitely something to keep in mind next time a huge transfer story breaks.
For
It's a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.